Class 8 meat goats to the holding pen. Class 8 meat goats to the holding pen.
Really nice pair on the top end of this class that are close, and I think for different reasons. And again, you put the presence and the look and the feature together with enough muscularity, ultimately land on our class winner. When he came in the ring, I thought we'd build the class around him really easily. I still think he's a good class winner. He doesn't handle quite as impressive as I thought he might, putting his hook up from his hip to his loin. I'd never say that one like that doesn't have enough muscle. I just want to see it just a shot more impressive, if you will, and I think that's the way that he's built. I don't know that he needs more muscle. I just want it to transition just a little bit better. From there forward, that thing is really, really good. I like his forerib, love him out through his front 1/3. That one, if you want to study feet and legs and the way that front legs are supposed to be assembled, in my opinion, that's what I'm after, because he's flexible and still has that high quality look up front. He's pretty impressive. I like that one quite a bit. This one in second is no slouch. He's really, really good looking on the go. I just want to see just a shot more to him out of his upper hip and pin compared to our class winner. And he handles his hind leg accordingly. And you can see that he's a little flatter legged, a little straighter from hock to ground, a little more upright on his rear toe compared to our class winner. Pretty getting nitpicky on one that I like quite a bit. After that, it becomes very, very close on what you want to do. The goats sitting in 3, 4, and 5 are higher cut ability. They're leaner, they're fresher, they're more youthful to the touch, and that's why they beat these other goats that maybe have more muscle. Comparatively, this one here is better legged off of his hip and hind leg compared to the young lady in the yellow stripe. Both of these goats have enough muscle shape comparative to the two that start. Maybe not the punch and tone and power up top compared to those two. Red-caped one, young lady in the yellow stripes, guys, she's a good showman. And so you put your hands on that one from hook bone forward. You really, really like the way that he handles up on his rack and his forerib. He's too quick and he's too steep out of his hip and hind leg. That's where I need to modify and change him. Another good showman young man has done a good job all night. Good looking, really good structured. I got a little more disappointed in him in the way that he handles right behind his blade. I want more forerib. That would allow him to put more rack shape up high. If he does that, that one gets up a notch or two. The next 3 or 4 goats have a little more on them compositionally, in my opinion. They concern me a little more from a fat cover perspective. This wether coming next is stout. He's rugged and muscular. He wants to break right behind his blade and pinching his forerib. Due to the fact that he's a little coarser through the point of his shoulder, I want to tone him down in regards to his fat, just a shot. Doe Kid, I wish I could have seen that one young lady 30 days ago when she was a little more terminal, if you will, a little leaner. She's getting a little more to her in terms of her elbow pocket fat. She's starting to look like a female. If we put her back into a breeding piece perspective, she's got a lot of value to her. Her top side shape and mass is unmatched in relation to her frame. She's too short, she's too low performing and too round for me. I want to lean her up from a carcass composition perspective. The young lady in the kind of the purple shirt comes next with one that's got tremendous aggressive shape up top. Maybe that one, in my opinion, doesn't handle her feet and legs quite as well off of both ends of her skeleton. You can see up front that she's kind of wanting to swivel those front feet out. Definitely need to change her structurally. She obviously has the muscularity advantage compared to the red caped one right behind. Long-bodied, high-performing wether, simply needs to have more muscle. This is another interesting goat comes next, the tall young man's got. That one's just a little piecier skeletally, kind of wants to run downhill on him, got a little more chest, a little more fat, but that one's got tremendous feature and muscularity. And again, a great job and a great showman, a great young man completes the class. Long-bodied, just not enough muscle. Put your hands together. That one was fun to sort. Good pair on top.
In Class 7, Creed Hughes. First place, Creed Hughes, Zia Sharpshooters. Second place, Clancy Conklin, Cottonwood 4-H. Third place, Bailey Trujillo, Artesia FFA. Fourth place, Madison Mancho, Artesia FFA. Fifth place, Aiden Cox, Brush Poppers 4-H. Sixth place, Swayze Fulmore, Cottonwood 4-H. Seventh place, Creed Hughes, Zia Sharpshooters. Eighth place, Taylor Salter, Artesia FFA. Ninth place, Kendi Burnett, Penasco 4-H. 10th place, Clay Kincaid, Artesia FFA. 11th place, Caden Bishop, Loving 4-H. Please bring all your Class 9 meat goats to the holding pen. Class 9 meat goats to the holding pen. Please bring all your Class 9 meat goats to the holding pen. Class 9 meat goats to the holding pen.
Got a cool looking one here to win this particular class, and the longer the class wore on and you study that guy, the more you appreciate him. I like his kind. He's not the biggest boned, and he's not the biggest featured goat that we've seen, and maybe not the most muscular, but again, his proportionality and his base width allow him to put enough shape and spread up high, and can back that up with just the overwhelming presence and look that he has. He's still youthful to the touch. He's incredible in the way that he handles. You know, if you just get critical on him, give him a shot more muscle. I'd never call a livestock like that with not enough muscle or he wouldn't win. I like that one pretty good. It's close between 2 and 3, and again, I think the more athletic built one comes in second. He's a little staler to the touch, maybe got a little more condition to him, or not condition, but kind of maybe not the presence and the handling quality as the goat that wins. He could use a shot more on him in terms of cover, in my opinion. Another 20 days or so, I think that guy's pretty good. I like his build, maybe not as good out of his hip and his tail and his pin set, but a nice athletic wether to be in second. Again, we keep talking about these same kids. They're great exhibitors and great showmen. This young lady can get a lot out of this wether in third on the stand. Again, that's why I like to walk goats a lot, because I can see their true value structurally. He's not good enough out of his hip and his tail set and his hind leg to move up any higher in this class, but you really have to appreciate his performance, his length of body, his front end quality is really good, and he handles good as well. Just need to change him out of his hock and hind leg. I thought this pair was close, and talked to the boys about that, because on the go, you can use either one. So it basically comes down to the fundamentals of meat animal evaluation. Which wether's longer bodied, which one's higher performing, which one's going to be more terminally valuable on the rail, and I think it's the young lady in the cheetah print, just based on the fact that he is longer and handles with a shot more aggressive shape up top. I want to change him off of both ends structurally as he comes and goes. Big forearm in this guy, stout featured. I like all those things about him. I just wanted to come just a little nicer balanced over his top line. You can see that he wants to get up in his top and maybe be a little shorter and rounder. I'd change him just a shot there. High quality, no doubt that was very, very competitive. I thought this was the most competitive class all the way throughout in terms of animals that have been fed well compositionally, and that's all we can do is once we get them on feed and feed them accordingly, we got to get the most out of them, and these kids have done that. Again, we complete the class with goats that simply need to be genetically opened up at the surface that will allow them to put more shape and spread up top. I really like the class winner. Put your hands together for all these kids, please.
Class 8, first place, McKenna Cox, Brush Poppers 4-H. Second place, Kaylee Shockey, Cottonwood 4-H. Third place, Kaylee Shockey, Cottonwood 4-H. Fourth place, Lillian Nikes, Cottonwood 4-H. Fifth place, Presley Gaines, Cottonwood 4-H. Sixth place, Lillian Nikes, Cottonwood 4-H. Seventh place, Autumn Nalen, Artesia FFA. And eighth place, Leo Lopez, Country Clovers. Please bring all your first and second place meat goats from Division 3 to the holding pen. First and second place meat goats from Division 3 to the holding pen.
really close pair in this particular class. And again, we've got two different kinds of goats, and I'm going to stick to my guns and favor on the direction of build and just feet and legs, and that's where they sort themselves. Is the rear hock and hind leg, and our class winner is considerably better, and that's where he's going to get the nod. That's a good looking one. He's sound, he's practical, he's good looking from the side, and I think he's got enough shape to him. Again, as I said in some of these other classes, he's got enough muscle to win anywhere in the country because from a breeder standpoint, I know we got good breeders out here, we can inject muscle and muscularity into a generation or two, and it takes decades to build quality and structure and skeletal design, and so that's where that one's going to get the nod. No doubt that the one in second is bigger, he's stouter, he's got probably a bigger forearm in him. He comes to the ring just a shot piecier in my opinion. I'll be specific, I need to change that guy out of his rear pastern. If he does that and straightens that up just a little bit, I think that helps him out. But again, as I study him in terms of just meat animal shape, I get a little more critical on him in his transition from his hookup to his hip to his loin. But again, that's nitpicking one that you really, really like a lot of things about, and you get him under the right guy that can overlook that rear hock and pastern. That one you like quite a bit. So I think the one in third contends to get a little higher in class just based on his touch. I like that one a lot in the way that he handles. He's been fed very well. You put him in motion, he's the shorter necked option of the top trio. Consequently, not the cosmetic and value and presence up front. That's getting pretty particular on one that's going to hang extremely, extremely well. The next pair are similar in terms of size and length and performance. Maybe a shot more feature in the young lady's weather that comes next. Wants to get up in his top and not transition quite as well. Kind of a deeper, longer bladed kind of a weather comes next. I want to tuck him up out through his chest and make him more attractive, but he's got presence and look from the side. Get this guy coming next. He's got a lot of bone and toe size and feature to him. He's a little longer bladed as well, maybe not as the aesthetic value up through his front 1/3 and his forerib shape. Young lady's done a good job with him. I think the next pair are close. The young lady that comes next, I like that one just a shot better at the ground than the young lady that completes the class. I think they're both goats that are adequate in terms of muscle, obviously compared to some of the others that precede them, just not the total shape and dimension of some of the others in class. Interesting one to sort. It'll be fun to see what they look like in the drive. Put your hands together one more time for these kids, please.
Class 9, first place, Aiden Cox, Brush Proper 4-H. Second place, Creed Hughes, the Sharpshooters. Third place, Jack Jerba, Country Clovers. Fourth place, Aubrey Putman, Country Clovers. Fifth place, Joshua Nailing, Cottonwood 4-H. Sixth place, Chloe Platt, Artesia 4-H. Seventh place, Joshua Nailing, Cottonwood 4-H. And eighth place, Taylor Salter, Artesia FFA. Please bring your Division 1 and 2 Champion Reserve meat goats to the holding pen. Division 1 and 2 Champion and Reserve meat goats to the holding pen.
Solid division here, and as we finish these divisions, I know we have the grand drive yet. I just want to tell the crowd that I'm honored to be here. Anytime you get to step in the ring with young people across the country, it's a privilege, and congratulations to your kids that have done a great job this evening, and been a very well-run show. Enjoyed talking with the ringman quite a bit, and it's good to get with agriculture people. And when you get in different parts of the country, it's a different dynamic, but the bottom line is that we're still raising the best kids in the country. There's nothing I'd rather these kids be doing on a Tuesday afternoon. I think it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Tuesday afternoon than to be exhibiting these goats, and I know you got the rest of your fair to go, and so congratulations to these exhibitors and the families and the breeders and the ag teachers and county agents and whoever's responsible for having these kids here. And so I just want to tell you that we use these animals as instruments to create young people, and so that's all we do with them. And I have grown kids, and we showed cattle, and these kids are very competitive over here to my left. And so on that side of the ring, it's very easy to get pretty stern and critical on our kiddos. And so moms and dads and grandparents just realize that you've got these kids in the ring for a reason, and it's not necessarily to win a banner. Obviously, we want to do the best we can and win, but when it comes down to it, we got to go home at night, and we got to love our kids and know that they're the best kids in the country. Anytime I get the microphone, I say this, whether people like it or not, I don't care. I give honor and glory to the Lord every time I get the microphone. I will continue to do so. Thank you. And I will continue to do so until somebody kills me, because I'm not going to do it unless they do. All that said, if you're not saved, get that way very quickly, because he's coming back and he's for real. All that said, yeah. All that said, we got two champions. I think Hadley's going to name the champion, and Austin's going to name the reserve. We got the grand to go. Congratulations, great division.
Your Division III champion went to Aiden Cox from Class 9, and reserve went to McKenna Cox from Class 8.
Well, incredible show. I knew it was going to be good when we came up here, and then even more fun for me. I've been blessed to judge a lot of shows across the country, but I love to get kids in the ring, and these bigger shows and majors are fun, and obviously you can't get kids in the ring to shadow you, and so maybe for me, as old and mature and pot-bellied as I am, it's maybe not as fun to do those big ones as it is to get these guys in here and let them learn and have fun and be the next generation of evaluators in this industry, because again, just to reiterate some comments, there's no industry out there, and I'm talking the general livestock industry, not just goats, but there's nothing that we can do as a family and as an industry that's any better than getting kids out there and learning about agriculture. I will say this one thing about if you're young and you're an exhibitor, whether you won or lost tonight, it's just my opinion, but more importantly, I want you to become agriculture people. And what I mean by that is I want you to represent our industry to the best of your ability, because there's a lot of freaks out there. I'm pretty generic in my comments. There's a lot of weird people in this country that are out there to kill our industry. And so I want you to represent us to the utmost of your ability through animal husbandry. I want you to treat your animals with respect. Obviously, they've been fed well, they've been shown well, all those things. But when somebody comes up to you and asks about your project, educate them. Don't just, there's a lot of times I was very guilty of it when I was a young agent about not wanting anybody to ask me questions or bother my livestock. I get that, and I get that on the big stage, but I also understand the older I get, the more chances that we get to educate ignorant people, the better off this industry is, because people are ignorant and it's not their fault. They don't know where their food comes from, and it's our job to tell them, because if they don't, or if we don't, then unfortunately this country's headed in the wrong direction. All that said, I'm not going to talk anymore. Corbin's going to name the grand champion, and then who's doing reserve? Austin's going to do reserve. Very, very quickly. These goats are good. The young lady's lightweight is one that I don't know, again, what your rules are for the state or whether that one gets to go somewhere or not. I hope he does, because from shoulder blade back, he's my favorite. I'll be candid about it. I like that one the best. From his shoulder blade back, for his maturity, I think that one's going to be incredibly competitive if he gets to go to a show later in the fall. Again, as I said in class, and I'll say it again in this division, I don't like him from knee to ground, and I want to change the way that he swivels out front. Again, just a high quality one. The young lady's goat that was reserved to him, maybe stouter than him, maybe more muscular, came to us a little piecier, a little rounder, a little coarser through the point of his shoulder. The two middleweights were impressive. I thought they were different in terms of their kind and their build. It's hard to build livestock like all six of these, there's no doubt, but to get bone and feature and athleticism in one that can still pack that out with shape and aggressive shape is hard to build, and I think that middleweight does it very well. The young man does a great job with his reserve. Again, he's a good showman. All six of these kids, I'm not sure who's doing showmanship, but it's a tough decision because he's done a good job, and he can make that one look real good on the stand. In motion, again, I said it before and I'll say it again, I want to change him just a little bit from blade to forerib. We just talked these two heavyweights. They're different. They're both good looking, good built, good structured ones. Really like the look and quality and just athleticism in our champion. Followed him up with one that presents a really nice look from the side. Maybe both of those goats could be just a shot more aggressive in the way that they handle. I'd never say that those two don't have enough muscle. All that said, I've got a favorite. The boys know which one it is. Corbin's going to name that one right now. Congratulations, great show.
Your grand champion meet goat went to Clancy Conklin from Class 6, and your reserve champion meet goat went to Aiden Cox from Class 9. Congratulations.